jobs crisis in America, and they're turning up the heat on the president to take some action. Lawmakers are visiting cities across the country plagued by high minority unemployment, trying to get families back on their feet. Today's job fair is underway right now in Atlanta, but it's this Tuesday's discussion in Detroit that's getting a lot of attention. A fired-up California Congresswoman, Maxine issued some tough words for the president.
The Congressional Black Caucus loves the president too. We're supportive of the president, but we're getting tired, y'all. We're getting tired. And so what we want to do is we want to give the president every opportunity to show what he can do and what he's prepared to lead on. But our people are hurting. The unemployment is unconscionable. We don't know what the strategy is. We don't know why on this trip that he's in the United States now, he's not in any black community. We don't know that. When you let us know it is time to let go, we'll let go.
Congresswoman Maxine joining me live from Atlanta this morning. Congresswoman, there's a lot of causes for the pain African Americans are experiencing economically. Let's talk specifically about the president. How much of your frustration stems from not feeling like President Obama has focused enough attention on the cities hit hardest by this crisis?
Well, I think what you see is growing frustration, not only in this country, but particularly in minority communities, because the unemployment rates are so high. In the African-American community, you're talking about 16%. For many who have been long time unemployed, it's 35 and 40% in some of these areas. You couple that with the home foreclosures that have hit the African-American community so hard, and you look at the loss of wealth. The Pew Institute came out with new information that showed household wealth had dropped in the African-American community, and the gap is widening. It's a 20% gap between white household wealth and black household wealth. So all of these factors are creating frustration and, yes, some anger. And we have to take positive steps. The Congressional Black Caucus does its work, but we decided we were going to hit the road. We were getting out of Washington. We put together these job fairs.
The president, Congresswoman, has talked about Congress a great deal over the past few days on his Midwest bus tour. I want to take a listen to what the president said, and then I want to talk about what he's saying on the other side. Take a listen.
And my attitude is, get it done. And if they don't get it done, then we'll be running against a Congress that's not doing anything for the American people. We've got a lot of work to do, and the only way it'll get done is if Democrats and Republicans put country ahead of party. The last thing we need is Congress to show up back in Congress and do the exact same thing they've been doing.
The president expected to unveil a major jobs plan after Labor Day. How much congressional support can President Obama count on from a Congress that does not have a history of working well with the president?
Well, the president is going to have to fight, and he's going to have to fight hard. We cannot back up from the Tea Party. We cannot be intimidated. We cannot compromise away the ability for us to put together proposals that are going to get this country back on the right track. So this is going to be tough, tough fighting. We know that they have already decided that there are some things they were not going to agree to. They're not going to agree to raise revenue. I understand some of them have signed a pledge already, but we and the president and the leadership have got to take this to the people as we're doing with these job fairs. We're coming to the people. The people are getting more informed, more educated, more inspired, and they will help us fight.
Congresswoman, what you're saying is the same thing that a lot of other folks have been saying around this country over the past few weeks, that the president needs to be fighting more. How should President Obama be fighting? What should this fight look like?
Well, in the first place, when we were basically held up in raising the debt ceiling until they got all of those budget cuts that they demanded, and of course we didn't raise any revenue, we didn't close any tax loopholes, I believe that the Democratic Party The President of the United States should not have backed down. I think that we should have made him walk the plank, because if we had not lifted the debt ceiling within 24 hours, they would have been back. And they would have joined with us, because they know that the people of this country would not have allowed us to be in default for any period of time and shut this government down. So you cannot be intimidated. You cannot back up. The Tea Party has shown that they have strength, and our constituents are asking us, where's your fight? Where's your resolve? And that's the kind of thing we have to do.
You were pretty fired up 2 days ago in Detroit. I would imagine the White House has probably seen that clip over and over and over. Have you heard from folks at the White House yet?
No, I have not talked with anybody from the White House, but I'm more concerned about the people out here than I'm concerned about anybody else. First of all, we've got to show that we feel their pain and that we understand what they're going through. We understand the joblessness, and we've got to get out and not only inspire and motivate them, but try and connect them with opportunity. These job fairs have asked the employers from all over the country who come to Washington and lobby us all the time for tax breaks and other kinds of things. We've got to say to them, bring the jobs to the people. Many of them are hoarding cash, like the banks are hoarding cash. We want that money in our communities, in our country, stimulating the economy and creating jobs.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters in Atlanta with quite the crowd behind you. Hope it goes well down there. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. The people are here.
Meanwhile, we are getting news.